so so just to give you an example of doing this on a blues, say we'll do blues in A flat, and again, this is with the understanding that there's probably other instruments playing and probably other rhythm instruments playing, like bass, at least bass, you know. So I would still be keeping with this kind of minimal notes thing. So here we go. So as you see, that sounded like nice and light, but even if you're and I always tend to, you know, I for the most part I hit the guitar with a certain amount of emphasis, but the idea is to have your level in balance. It's almost like, even though you don't want to be too heavy on the 2 and the 4, it's almost like you're, especially if you're playing in a group with drums, you're fitting into the texture of the drummer's hi-hat. You know, you're almost a sort of fixture of that. And say, for instance, for years when I was playing, when the Scott Hamilton's group, his quintet, was a working group, I would always set up to the left of the drums because I wanted that hi-hat right next to me, and I wanted to blend with that, like, really exactly. And I think it helped the texture of things. And that way, and both, and the pianist John Bunch and I, we kind of needed to stay out of each other's hair. You know, it was almost like, this will sound weird, but it was almost better for us to not hear each other instead of trying to, unless we were going to have something arranged to work out. You know, it was much better to just for me to be much more almost part of the drums than anything else, you know. And that's sort of my attitude about comping without drums. You know, when you're comping 4/4, you're kind of the drums of the band, partly, you know, but you want to have that same like light pulse, and it's really important. It's way more important than a lot of clever voicings, you know, and basically feeding the soloist more than they perhaps want to be fed.